A joint investigation by CNBC and NBC New York found more than 4,000 patient deaths have been classified as less serious events in FDA's safety report. It turns out health companies are allowed to label some fatalities as injuries. But now critics are questioning, is the FDA more lapdog than watchdog? Chris Glorioso joins us with part 2 of our investigation, Death by Another Name.
I think the FDA needs to be investigated by the FBI.
Catrice Jones feels the Food and Drug Administration let her down. When this Bronx-born mom was finished having children, she chose a birth control device called Assure.
I get choked up just talking about it. This is the armband.
But Catrice still got pregnant twice, and twice she miscarried.
It's a shocking experience to find out that you were pregnant when you were planning on not being pregnant anymore. And then to lose the baby, it was devastating.
What bothers Catrice most is the way the FDA counts fetal and embryonic deaths reported by Bayer, the maker of Assure. According to the agency's reporting rules, fetal deaths and miscarriages are not considered deaths.
I don't think they counted all the fetal deaths, all the miscarriages.
She's not the only one complaining about the FDA's reporting rules.
I'll never forget this. As long as I live, he called me. He said, "Nana, my mama has died."
Yesterday, we told you about family of Shelley Wilhite, an epilepsy patient who died after complaining this nerve stimulator implanted below the neck caused painful shocks. Since Wilhite's death, her loved ones have learned Cyberonics, the maker of the device, has reported dozens of patient deaths, but classified them as less serious injuries and malfunctions.
I would like to say to the company to start being honest.
Both Cyberonics and Bayer say their products have helped tens of thousands of epilepsy and birth control patients. They insist they have reported safety issues in compliance with FDA rules. But the way the rules are interpreted and enforced may be the problem, according to Pennsylvania Congressman Michael Fitzpatrick. He says the FDA seems to be allowing medical device companies to decide for themselves when a death is related to one of their products.
Are physicians misreporting or companies misclassifying? I think the FDA is in the best position to answer those questions, and they should. And I don't think they have to date.
An FDA spokeswoman told us patient deaths could be correctly classified as lesser events if safety reports lack sufficient information to establish the device likely caused or contributed to the death. She also said the FDA considers patients to be our first and primary customer, but some patients don't see it that way.
I blame the FDA because I feel like they are supposed to be the people's watchdog.
Shelley Wilhite's family says the FDA has gotten too cozy with the device makers. That nerve stimulator was also approved to treat clinical depression, but an investigation by the Senate Finance Committee found the FDA's then head of devices, Dr. Daniel Schultz, overruled more than 20 FDA scientists, medical and safety officers, many of whom felt the device did not demonstrate a reasonable assurance of safety and effectiveness.
4 years after overriding his own expert staff, Dr. Daniel Schultz resigned from the FDA. He's now joined a K Street consulting firm that lobbies the FDA to get medical devices approved.
Schultz declined comment. His consulting firm, Greenleaf Health, did take issue with the notion that it lobbies the FDA, saying it does not lobby as defined by the Lobby Disclosure Act of 1995. That act refers to lobbying certain executive and elected leaders. The Greenleaf website says it prepares device companies for meetings and calls with the FDA and prepares applications for FDA product approval. Since 2009, Greenleaf has hired at least 7 FDA officials. We asked Scott Gottlieb, a former deputy commissioner at the FDA, if close ties to the industry are compromising the agency's mission.
You were the number 2 guy at the FDA. In your estimation, is the FDA more watchdog or more lapdog?
Look, I think the FDA is pretty rigorous.
Gottlieb said the FDA benefits by collaborating with private industry, and he said ethics and a commitment to protecting patients are guiding principles.
I think that they do, by and large, a very good job. I think that they're probably the best regulatory agency around the world.
For Nightly Business Report, I'm Chris Glorioso.